Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As you know that today we have online social studies class. In this class, we will learn about the weather and climate. That what is the weather and what is the climate, and what is the difference between the weather and the climate, and what are the factors that affect the climate. So first of all, we have to learn about the weather. That what is the weather? Weather is the condition of the atmosphere at a particular place in time. It can change from day to day and even from hour to hour. In the picture you can see that in the morning we have clear sky, and in the evening we have clouds in the sky. So at the same day we have two types of weather. In the morning there is clear sky, and in the evening we have clouds in the sky, there is cloudy weather. So we have two types of weather at the same day. And the next picture, you can see that in the morning it is raining, and in the afternoon it is bright and sunny. So at the same day we have two types of weather condition. In the morning it is raining, and in the afternoon at the same day we have bright and sunny sky. So we can say that weather can change from day to day or even from hour to hour. So what is the climate? Climate is the average weather condition of a place over a long period of time. Climate is the weather condition of a place that determines the coldness or hotness of a place. For example, you can see in the picture that there is Himalaya ranges, and the Himalaya ranges the Himalaya ranges are very cold because the snow is on the mountains, and we have third desert that is very hot climate. So the coldness or hotness of a place is determined by the climate, and it took sometimes decade to change, because it is the average condition of the because it is the average of the weather condition of a place over a long period of time. It determines the hotness or coldness of a place. Then we have to study about the factors of affecting climate, and that what are the most important factors that determines the climate of a place. So these areas which are the distance from the equator are high above the sea level, or distance from the sea. Winds also affect our climate, and the amount of moisture in the air are also determine the climate of a place. The amount of rainfall also determine the climate of a place. These are the factors which affect our climate. So distance from the equator, so the earth gets heated by the sun rays. As you can see in this picture, that equator is an imaginary line which divide the earth into two parts. Those areas which are close to the equator or on the equator, these are very hot, these places, because it get direct heat from the sun, and the sun rays direct fall on these areas. That's why it get maximum heat, and these areas are very hot than those areas that are far from the equator. So it depending on the amount of heat received, there are three climatic or heat zones on the earth. As you can see that we have three types of zone. In this picture we have six zones. As on the mid In the mid we have the equator, which is the imaginary line that you can see that it divides the whole earth into two equal parts. And then on the no, on the north and south pole we have polar zone, and the mid we have temperate zone, and on the equator we have tropical zone. So there are the three major zone on the earth, that is the torrid zone, the temperate zone, and the frigid zone. You can see that on the equator both sides we have torrid zone, and then on both side we have the temperate zone, and on both sides we have the frigid zone on the north pole and on the south pole. The torrid zone, the torrid zone, the area on both sides of the equator between the tropic of the Cancer and the tropic of the Capricorn is called the torrid or tropical zone. The word torrid means extremely hot. As I told you that those areas which are on the equator are very close to the equator, so these areas are very hot because these areas get direct sun rays, direct rays from the sun, and get maximum heat. That's why this is called the torrid zone, because the areas in the torrid zone are very hot. So because of extremely hotness in these areas, this is called the torrid zone. And then we have the temperate zone, the areas that lies between the tropic of the Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and the tropic of the Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere are called the temperate zone. This region has a mild climate, because the climate of the of these places which are in the temperate zone are the have the temperate climate. It is neither too much hot nor too much cold. We have temperate climate, or we have a mild climate in these areas. And then the frigid zone, the areas between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are called the frigid zone. You can see in the picture that in this picture we have the snow. We have snow in these areas, especially those areas which are on the in the North Pole, and those areas which is located in the South Pole. So it do not get it do not get much heat, or the sun rays are not received by these areas. That's why these areas are very cold throughout the year. So the coldness or the hotness of a place determined by the climatic condition of a place, and the climate is the average of the weather condition over a place. We have three major climatic zones. First of all, we have the torrid zone, which is extremely hot, and then we have the temperate zone, which has a mild climate or temperate climate, neither too much hot nor too much cold. And then we have the frigid zone, which is extremely cold on the North Pole and on the South Pole. So hope you understand the topic. Thank you so much.